Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela and welcome back to Decan Walk. Hashtag Decan Walk 2023. We started it out in 2023. We're ending it in 2024. So I guess we're still calling it 2023, even though it's 2024. We are on, Decan Capricorn Decan 3. It starts actually tomorrow. Today is January 9th, 2024. I will actually be going into the hospital tomorrow and Thursday for the rest of my heart stuff that needs fixed. And hopefully all will go well. And I said I was going to do this late because of that, but I got snowed in today because it's been snowing here for the past almost 24 hours. We have several inches of snow, which is unheard of. And my job shut down today, so I have extra time. So, I'm not going to read any of the book, but I did read, 36 Secrets by T. Susan Chang. I did read, the information on there, and I will read the poem at the end. But here's the wheel, and it starts tomorrow. Capricorn, January 10th to the 19th. And it is the Four of Pentacles is representative of Decan 3, Capricorn. There's the Capricorn symbol here. The keywords are control, stability, security, possession, and conservatism. And then the negative is greed, materialism, self-protection. And there were a couple words that she used in the book. One is miser. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally see that. But she did talk more about in the book about the devil, which is the representative of Capricorn in the tarot. Bondage, addiction, sexuality, materialism. And then upright is detachment, breaking free, power reclaimed. And materialism, I think, wasn't that a word up here? Yeah, it was the word in the negative in the Four of Pentacles and in the upright in the devil. And it is Saturn in Capricorn. So we actually have the Sun card, which is fun, warmth, success, positivity, vitality. In the negative, it's temporary depression or lack of success. And again, to me, that all ties into the Four of Pentacles. And then she talked about this being King Midas and everything he touched turned to gold. And I'm like, what? Because I don't really read the books on any of my decks. I read intuitively. And it all tied into, and I think I will read you the first part of this here to see where my brain is going. Because sometimes, it says it's the Lord, meet the Lord of Power. Money is on his mind, in his heart, beneath his feet. He faces forward with a fixed, baggy-eyed glare. For if he blinks, someone might filch a coin. People often say that wealth is freedom, as in financial independence. Does he look free to you? The occultists of the Golden Dawn called this card earthly power, as if our kingly friend resorts that there were any other kind. But as modern readers, we are often quick to see the Scrooge in the Four of Pentacles. As always, there is more here than initially meets the eye. And then it goes on to talk about, the saying, the root of all evil is, money is the root of all evil, but it's not money itself that's the root of all evil. It is how the person takes on that money and it could be the devil, and especially in this Decan, the devil energy influencing their greediness or their hoarding the money. Even though they've got money, they're still hoarding it, not sharing it, not helping out their community, not doing things like that. And that kind of took on a whole other layer of meaning for me. And and I was thinking the word corruption, corruption of money, corruption of power. And then she winds up mentioning it in the book about absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I'm like, absolutely, it does. And it's almost like the devil is corrupting the Four of Pentacles and the Sun card in this, because the Sun is about fun, warmth, success. And if you turn it around, it's temporary depression or lack of success. You could be trying your hardest to get to a certain goal, saving money, and one thing after another just keeps happening where you cannot save any money, which is the story of my life. But that's a video for another day. But it could be that this devil energy is influencing that. And, even I've said in the past, manifestation is real. And if you deep down inside, I was just talking to someone about this last night, if you deep down inside believe you're going to win the lottery, you're going to win the lottery, or of some form. If you say I'm going to win the lottery and then deep down you're like, this is never going to happen, it's never going to happen. And that's how I feel with this energy in this specific decan, with the Four of Pentacles. And it's just interesting how, the way she talked about King Midas was, he thought he was doing something good, but he corrupted it, because everything he touched, he wound up turning his daughter into gold. And, I just found that very fascinating, that, I never thought of it being a corruption of hoarding money or whatever. So, but this is the decan. And then, of course, I always show my Journey of the Sacred Bee, because it is a Thoth deck. We got the backs here. And the keyword on it is power. We've got the Capricorn and the Sun. And I just found it interesting that the word power kept coming up. Miser kept coming up for, the negative aspect of it. And then we have the Sun, which is beautiful, and it's got some bees in it. There's the Sun. And then the Devil, of course, we've been seeing him because it's Capricorn. And I've made the joke the last two decans that, I've only ever known one Capricorn, and he was the Devil, so. But yeah, that's, I just found that interesting in the book, reading it. There was a lot of pages this week, for Capricorn Decan 3, which I found interesting. Marlena Teresa doesn't do her video until the day of, so I don't have her spread yet to do, so I will be doing that separate after I'm out of the hospital. But that was the decan. And I did have a couple other Four of Pentacles I wanted to show you. My favorite one ever is in the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. I hope this is not one of the cards that changes, because this is my favorite card in that deck. And it kind of changed my perspective on the Four of Pentacles in, tarot, period. Because here you can see she, he, whoever, they're wearing their crown. They're wearing all of their jewels, like all of their jewelry. They're in this like hovel of a piece of crap building, and they're reaching out for the only real life that's out there. And I just find it interesting that it's not even hoarding on I have to save my money kind of deal. It's, I need to save all my material gain. It is such a detriment that they're holding on to it, that they've died. Their skeleton is there. They've whittled down to nothing. And they're reaching out for the only life that's out there, and they just cannot seem to let go. If they just let go and walk out of there, they could experience life, experience joy. And I find that kind of coincides with the absolute power corrupting absolutely, because there is a balance here. You can have money and be happy. This person is not. But some people, because it's corrupted them, take it to a dark level or a dark place where they can't be happy. They can't join the world. They have to keep track of all their money. They have to count their coins. And I just found that interesting. And then we have the Triumphant de la Luna Illustrated Pips edition. Of course, we have the ultimate miser here. I feel like he's counting his coins, and he's doing this little devious thing with his hands. And then we have this being in the background, maybe even Death himself, watching him, like, and it looks like Death in the background, which I think is interesting because you've accumulated this wealth, but you've done nothing with it. You've made no mark, no real contribution, and now Death has come for you. And I just, it creeps me out, but at the same time, it takes the Four of Coins to a whole new level. And then we have the Paradoxical Rose, Marseille version. And I never noticed in the Marseille version, and she talks about it in the book, that there is a shield here instead of more flowers. This is the one card in the Pentacles that has a shield because she was describing a familial wealth, that kind of touches on in the Four of Pentacles. And I'm like, that's interesting because with familial wealth, you have protection, you have stability, you have lineage. And I just found that interesting that I never noticed that before in the Four of Pentacles in the Marseille. And I wanted to just show y'all, point that out. So real quick before I run out of time, I'm going to read you guys the poem that comes with she puts in every single chapter of every single one of these. And I'm trying to find it. Okay, it's quite long. Let me see here. It's excerpt from Midas from Tales from Ovid by Ted Hughes. So it talks about King Midas. Midas said, "Here is my wish. Let whatever I touch become gold. Yes, gold, the finest, the purest, the brightest." Bacchus gazed at the king and sighed gently. He felt pity. Yet his curiosity was intrigued to see how such stupidity would be punished. So he granted the wish, then stood back to watch. The Phrygian king returned through the garden, eager to test the power, yet apprehensive that he had merely dreamed and now was awake. Where alchemy never works, he broke a twig from a low branch of oak. The leaves turned to heavy gold as he stared at them, and his mouth went dry. He felt his brain move strangely, like a muscle. He picked up a stone and weighed it in his hand as it doubled in size, then doubled it again, and became bright yellow. He brushed his hand over a clump of grass. The blades stayed bent, soft ribbons of gold foil. A ripe ear of corn was crisp and dry and light as he plucked it, but a heavy slug of gold, intricately braided, as he rolled it between his palms. It was then that a cold thought seemed to whisper. He had wanted to chew the milky grains, but none broke chafely free from their pockets. Wow. That's cool. So that's the excerpt that's on there for King Midas, and as we know how it turns out. But reading the book, it took a little bit of deeper meaning for me than it normally does on this card. And I have a whole bunch of other Four of Pentacles I want to show, but I don't have time to get them out. I have too many decks. Not enough, but too many at the same time, if that makes sense. But yeah, that is my take, in my opinion, my thoughts, my whatever. You can even read the book, 36 Secrets by T. Susan Chang. We are getting close to the end, guys. Like, that's what's left of this book. It's thin compared to all this. We're getting close to the end of this Decan, and I, for one, have had a merry-go-round of ups and downs, energies, highs and lows, and I'm ready for it to be over, honestly. I've stuck this long, so I'm going to finish it out, but it has helped, and the only reason I did this Decan walk was to more associate myself with the tarot, the astrology, hopefully. While pieces of the astrology have stuck, it really hit home that I'm not that interested in astrology as I thought I was. I always say I want to be interested in it and I want to get into it, and I never do. I never do. I buy decks thinking, oh, I'm going to get into I never do. But this Decan walk just really hit home that I would rather go deeper into the tarot. And find out the deeper layers and meanings of that right now. Now, it's not to say in a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. I'm not going to get into the astrology part of it, but for now, I think I was trying to force something that I'm just not prepared for yet. But that's it. I can't wait for the next Decan. Hopefully everything will go fine in the next couple days, and I will be back Friday with a video. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos, and y'all have a good night.